What is going on, guys? Welcome to the All Things Considered Disc Golf podcast, where we consider all things disc golf. I'm your host, Jacob, joined as always by Cameron. Cameron, tell the people what we're going to be talking about this week.
Yeah, so there was no quote-unquote professional disc golf. We have the Go Throw Tour's first event, which is obviously professional disc golf. I mean Pro Tour. Second up, we are going to move on to Ricky finally posted it in the bag. I know I was waiting on it. I know there's several people waiting on it, so we kind of finally see what he's throwing. The third thing we're going to bring up here is Jacob last week kind of teased a video that we were planning on doing. We're finally going to kind of reveal that today.
Very ambitious.
Very ambitious video for sure. And then just to round it out, we got the prices wrong per usual, question of the week, and then we'll get out of here. So first things first, the Go Throw Tour. Most of the time, this would be a recap of the event. However, we're actually filming this on a Sunday, so it's not over yet, but we've seen more than enough to understand how the events are going to run and kind of what that all looks like. So you have anything up first here?
Yeah, I think a couple of thoughts initially. Number one, I think I'm pretty disappointed. I think I'll just go ahead and say that.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I think that I wanted it. Now, to be fair, I haven't seen any of the post-produced content, and I also had a little bit of a. Whenever I saw, I didn't do a lot of my homework, to be fair, but whenever I saw the initial posting for the round or the tournament at Hideaway, I saw that it was 3 days, March 7th through 9th. And so I thought it was a 3-day tournament, which had the same type of feel as like the Disc Golf Pro Tour. But that's not the case. Skins was on the Friday, and then it was only a 2-day event, which to me just feels a little like lackluster. Obviously, the money is still great, or you wouldn't have all these guys going in between tournaments to play there. So the money's great, which is a good thing. But to me, I wanted it to be more of a, I don't know, competition, I guess, for lack of a better word, but just something to kind of push the Pro Tour to be better, because that's honestly what competition in that type of regard is, to where the Pro Tour doesn't get complacent because they're the only ones. But it seems like this is not going to be that. It's just, maybe not yet.
Yeah, well, and I think too, it's tough because I think that's what everyone wanted initially, was it to be like almost direct competition again, to kind of push the Pro Tour over the hump and just like make everything better that people are wanting at least.
Yeah.
But I found out, I think it was yesterday or maybe a couple days ago, these rounds aren't even sanctioned. This is not a sanctioned tournament. However, there's still prize money, which is obviously what you're going to get the pros there. But the fact that it's already not sanctioned, they're all off a point system. And granted, the point system is cool, but yeah,
it feels very like what GK Pro was, like kind of fun, a little gimmicky, but like not professional.
Right, and I think with the rebrand, I almost feel like that's what they were going for, was to be more professional.
I agree.
They have a very nice looking, professional logo, new website. They did all these things, the name change. And then, it's like, I think from a viewer perspective, you're still getting disc golf, absolutely. Obviously be happy with that. Yeah. But as far as I think what people were anticipating it being, as far as kind of, competition with the Pro Tour, it is definitely not that.
Certainly not.
The points thing, okay, this is why I do want to say this. If I was a player playing, the Go Throw Tour would be a lot of fun. If not that professionals are worried about ratings, but I'm sure some, it's definitely like is in their mind. But being unsanctioned, rating is not affected. You can play a lot more free, probably a lot more aggressive, while still being able to potentially get good prize money. Because I'm not sure if it's this one or all of them are sponsored by Eagles Crossing, but if they're involved, there's going to be a lot of money involved. So I don't know. I think it's cool. The point system is cool. I just wanted to mention these because these were the 3 things that I really liked, and this definitely takes away from the quote unquote professionalism of it. It's obviously still a well-ran tournament, and I've been to the Hideaway too, and it's a really, really cool course. So I'm looking forward to watching the coverage on it. I actually don't even know if it's out or even the full. It might just be the front 9 of the first round might be out now. So it's not even the full first round is even out the day after. It'll probably be later tonight. But the one thing with the hot round bonus, and again, these are points.
We don't know what the points are.
I don't know what the points are for. Yeah. I've looked everywhere, and someone might know.
Yeah, let us know in the
comments. It'll probably be a tour championship type deal. Whoever gets the most points is the number 1 seed or something like that, I'm assuming. But I don't even really know what the points are for. It's almost like The Price is Right. When what's his name, Drew Carey says, what the points are meaning, or the points mean nothing and whatever. I don't know. The prompts are made up and the points mean nothing or something like that. But all that to say, so the hot round bonus is obviously the person that shoots the best round, 25 points, which again, I don't know.
For the best round of each event, not necessarily even the day. It's
think,
the best round of the
Yeah, it's the event actually. I don't know the inflation rate of points. Like, I don't know if 25 is a high amount of points.
You've got to think probably not.
But so like ace bonus, you get 100 points for a first ace, 250 for a second, and 500 points for a third. So that makes me think if you're giving out 500 points for a third ace,
you're not going to get more than 3, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing is there's only 5 or 6 events, maybe.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, probably.
There's not like a ton. It's basically they're just hitting like the Pro Tours off weekends. Is essentially what's happening. And then 25 points for every eagle at each event. So you could kind of actually stack them up. I think right around here. Okay, so here's the placement points. Now is 41st points gets you 150.
41st place.
It looks like. Yeah.
So 41st place and above that get you between 150 and 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
21st to 40, 375 to 200, 11th to 20th place is 575 to 400, 7th to 10, 725 to 600, and then it just kind of goes up. First place being 1,000, second place being 900, third being 850. So, I mean, I guess again, I wish I knew what the points were for, but I looked like pretty diligently, and I can't find anything about what the points actually mean. I looked on their website. I looked on other YouTube videos. I just straight up Googled it just to see if Google knew anything, and they didn't. So I'm not 100% sure. I guess, eventually figure that out. But I don't know. I like the points idea, but if it's not, I feel like the payoff isn't as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all that to say, if I was a professional, I definitely would. I don't think I would favor these events by any means whatsoever, but I would probably seek these events out because you're obviously still playing high level competitive disc golf, but it's not as serious. I feel like, you know what I mean? There's really no repercussion for playing poorly or being super, super aggressive every single hole, every single round. You know what I mean?
So riddle me this.
Okay.
Would you, let's say you're trying to think, is there anybody just like off the top of your head that doesn't have their tour card? That's like playing the Q series.
No, I literally couldn't even guess.
Okay.
Maybe like Tristan Tanner. I don't think he has a tour card.
Maybe. So I don't know if he is or not, so I'm just going to use a hypothetical.
Sure.
Let's pretend you are like 990 rated and you're like on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You probably could get into some Pro Tour events after, registration's gone through. You might be able to sneak into one. But for the most part, you're going to need to be relying on winning a Q Series event to win your tour card,
sure,
or your eligibility to buy a tour card, which is a flawed system.
Absolutely.
But you're kind of grinding these Q Series events and following the Q Series.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an off weekend where you could play in a Q Series event or play in one of these, which one are you picking?
I think it depends on how serious I'm really taking disc golf. If I was at that level, I would probably play the Q Series, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
And I understand maybe the money in that event compared to, let's say, this one at the Hideaway, which I don't know the prize purses for these either, because that's nothing. That's another thing too that I'll talk about after this. But the prize money may not be as good in this Q Series as it is for, let's say, the Hideaway. But let's say I win the Q Series or get my placement, and I can get my tour card. The payoffs, I feel like, for the Disc Golf Pro Tour events would be higher. Like, I have the ability to make more money at the Pro Tour than I do at these, potentially.
See, but do you actually, though? Because if you're a 990 guy that's on the bubble, say you do pop off and win a Q Series event, you have the opportunity to buy a tour card for a bunch of money. You have to spend a bunch of money. And really, you're only going to make that money back if you're cashing consistently. And if you're a 990 guy, you're probably not doing that, right? That's like Bonanza. Bonanza's teetering on 990, I think. So that's Bonanza winning a Q Series event, earning a tour card, and then trying to make the money back from having to buy the tour card by playing on the Pro Tour. And to me, that is just not worth it, because quite honestly, this event, I mean, I'm sure you have to pay a registration fee or whatever, but for a 990 guy, you're going to probably get in. It's very unlikely you're not going to get in, and you have a way better chance of finishing well. I mean, right now, I don't know if he is still currently. Cameron's looking to check right now, but Raven Newsom, Raven Newsom's not bad. He's not he's a good player. It looks like he's actually dropped into second place.
No, that was after round one.
Oh, that was after round one. But Raven Newsom was leading, about halfway through the round today. So, a guy like Raven Newsom could probably win some pretty good money, whereas he's probably not going to be at the top of a Pro Tour leaderboard very often on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So, I don't know. If it's me, I got to think about where I'm actually going to make money. And I'm actually going to make money more likely, I think, on this type of tour, even though there's less events.
Yeah. So I finally, and this was another thing that I was kind of like beefing with. I feel like they made it hard to access. They're not doing live. It's post produced. Is what it is. That's what they normally do. But they're partnered with UDisc for these, which is great. I like UDisc. But like I remember when it was the Pro Tour and UDisc were going. Basically, when you open UDisc, it is like go to this tournament and look, like stay updated with the scores on this tournament. I had to search, and granted, it's a little bit of work, but obviously for consumer convenience is better. But I had to look up the hideaway, scroll down, find the tournament, go there, then hit another thing that I can then find the NPL, FPO scores. So
you had to really want to find it.
Right, which I think will only get better. Obviously, this is the first event they're doing with it, so maybe they hear feedback and get better. But I was looking, the payout, and this is for MPO, is $2,100.
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty big field.
So that's obviously still less than. But you got to think also they're doing. If you go back to the about page on there, I didn't even realize this, but they're also doing AMs.
Yeah.
So like you got to consider that too. It's not just a professional event. Like. So your registration fees are going to be a bit skewed because you also have AMs that are going to be obviously paying less to enter and play than you do for your MPO. Now that doesn't really affect payouts and stuff like that, but there's still $2,000 for like Raven Newsom has a better chance of winning $2,000 on this tour than he does on the Pro Tour any day. I think.
Sure,
I mean that's no hate on Raven Newsom. Like you've
that's
seen him on coverage before. He's a good player,
right? But at that point, and again, I kind of see what you're saying. You're just playing odds at that point because obviously, like Gannon Burr is out here. There's big names. Adam Hammis is out here. I think
Calvin's there.
Yeah, I think so. Isaac Robinson is out there. So, like, you have heavy hitters, but you don't have them all. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I guess, I see where you're coming from. Like, you definitely could play the odds and almost seek these out because there's obviously going to be good people or else they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But not everyone is going to be there. Like, Ricky's not there. Paul's not there.
Did Andrew Presnell go play in this?
I don't believe so. And that's another thing, too, is that it's not sanctioned. So, like, you can only find this on UDisc. This is the only way. I was looking at, like, PDGA and stuff like that, but because it's not sanctioned, it's not there. Let me look up if Andrew's playing.
I doubt it, but he's kind of just a hustler like that.
I want to say he's home.
Really?
I think so, because I saw him post something the other day about...
I guess that's fair. If he wasn't going to play in this, it means he had a week off. He can come back and hang out.
Andrew Presnell is not playing in this.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. I think there is a lot of room for growth. I don't think, again, as far as if you're just I don't even want to say casual, but I mean even a pretty avid viewer of professional disc golf, this is obviously something to watch. I don't hate where it's at.
Yeah.
And I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah, I think I should emphasize that, like, whenever I say I'm disappointed, it's only because I wanted it to be... I think it's doing exactly what it wanted to do. But what it wanted to do is just not what I wanted it to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
like they're doing what they want, which is great. It's just not what I thought they would do, which is fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is event one of like 5 or 6 or 7 or something like that.
I'm excited to see them play. Are they playing at Eagles Crossing at some point?
They are, and it's actually funny. I've played
Eagles Crossing
almost
is still like
all of
3
these
hours,
courses.
Yeah.
Like I played Hideaway, I've played Persimmon Ridge, which is the next one. I've played Eagles Crossing, so it's kind of fun. Granted, I got to play doubles with Jake at Hideaway, so it's definitely not my score would not reflect. But Persimmon Ridge, it'll be fun to see what like those guys shoot out there to see what I shot. Because I think I finished like 1 up. But we're going to move on here to Ricky's in the Bag. This is something that I've talked about and had a lot of people ask recently if I knew like I was supposed to
know what Ricky's going to be playing.
But
I was definitely paying attention to the Shelly Sharp coverage. I was definitely paying attention to the Supreme Flight Open, obviously, trying to like watch and see what he's using.
Yeah, so we're just going to kind of go through his in the bag. You can go watch the video and he gets a little more specific, but we're going to do a little guessing game with Jacob here.
Yeah. Cameron watched the video. I did not.
Yes, we're gonna go through the bag. First off, I'm just gonna give you the bag because you're definitely not gonna guess.
Okay.
What would your guess be for a bag? We'll just go ahead.
I feel like Discraft's pretty synonymous with grip,
right.
But I also feel like Ricky's a cart guy, so I
True.
would assume he'd still be using like Zuka carts.
Okay, so you're 50% correct.
Right.
Zuka is a sponsor.
Okay.
For him this year.
No grip.
He's no grip, which surprises.
Is he gonna be a Squatch guy?
No, it's Siger. SIGR. It's a company out of Norway.
Okay.
And he was showing the bag and stuff. And I feel like maybe, I want to say it's either one of the European guys or like Anniken Steen. I think she might use the bag. Oh. But they're honestly pretty cool looking bags.
Okay. What's the retail price on them suckers?
That's a great question. What do you think? This is just adding on to the game.
I mean, just more likely than not, it's going to be over $250, but I think that's probably silly.
Well, you got to equate
shipping,
shipping overseas too. Let's see.
I love it. Oh wow, yeah, that's a nice looking bag.
It really is a nice bag.
Yeah. Very classy looking.
It is. It's a very clean design.
Oh,
that's
surely that's in some sort of yeah. That's a European currency.
Yeah,
I saw 2,799.
Yeah, no, we're not in USD.
No, we are not. We're in whatever the heck that is.
I don't know the Norway.
I'm sorry to Norway. I don't know your currency.
$277.
So I was not incorrect.
No, that's.
That is expensive.
But that's on. I don't know the quality, but that's on brand with grip bags or right at.
Or Squatch bags. And stuff.
Yeah. Squatch is even more expensive. Those, if you bought one of those bags, I hope you like it. That's all I'm going to say. But we're going to go to the drivers first.
Okay. Drivers first.
I'll tell you, he has 4 different molds of distance drivers. This is the high speed. Go ahead and give me them.
Well, I think he's throwing forces.
Sure.
Is that sure like he is or sure like he could
Sure that he is.
Okay.
Well, that's his Tour Series disc too, I believe, this year. So,
cool.
Why would you not?
Cool. Does he have Tour Series ones in the bag?
He does, yes. Cool. I think he had a couple, actually.
Dude, the 2020 Tour Series comeback is going to be very nice. Very excited about that.
Yeah, this is just a quick tangent. I've seen a lot of people post them throwing their Tour Series discs, and I'm like, they come out, I think, next week, the 21st, but like I am just like itching to get them in because I want to go throw them. But anyways, keep going.
I feel like people are either force people or nuke people. So I'm assuming if he has forces, he probably doesn't have nukes, but he probably needs something more overstable than forces. Because like forces can be stable, but I know there's some pros that think forces kind of get a little touchy, kind of depending on the run. So I'm thinking he's got to have some Venoms. He's also an AB guy.
Yep, Venoms.
Okay, 4 types of drivers?
Yep.
What else would he have?
Well,
I guess I'll say a nuke.
He does. He does have nukes in there, which is interesting because...
Did he say like it was different? Like does the nuke and the force do a different thing?
He didn't really say that. He has one nuke in his bag and it was given to him by Adam Hammis, and apparently it's just like a money run nuke. So he's like, I'll try it out.
Bomber.
So yeah, apparently.
Probably like a tailwind bomber, like farthest flyer.
Yeah, so he has one nuke in the bag, but I will agree, especially like because I feel like Ezra Aderhold is a nuke guy. Andrew Presnell is a force guy.
Yeah.
Paul Macbeth is a force guy. So it is...
No Zeus guys out there.
Yeah. No, not anymore. I think he said he has like a Z-Lite Zeus in his back. But yeah, it is interesting. And I guess he is new, so he's still figuring it out. But it is like kind of funny to see that he's got both. And then the last one, you probably won't guess.
Okay.
Because it's technically not Discraft.
Oh.
It's DGA.
Oh, is he bagging a Hurricane?
He is bagging a Hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great guess.
Hurricane.
I'm getting ready to try one of those out. It's a video coming soon.
It's probably their most popular driver, I would say, no?
Probably. I know the Pipeline's pretty popular, but as far as high-speed driver, I would definitely say so. But there we go. 4.
Interesting. So fairway drivers. How many fairway driver molds does he have?
He has 4 fairway driver molds.
Okay, let me just go ahead and get Raptors out of the way.
Okay.
What do we got? I know let me just run through there's so many good fairway drivers in Discraft's lineup. Okay. Does it specify like Raptors versus Captain's Raptors?
He has both.
He has both.
So he has Captain's Raptors. He has.
Or is that counting as
no,
2
that is
molds?
counting as 2 of the 4.
2 of the 4 fairway molds. So would this be where he has a roller, but he doesn't throw like flippy rollers, so he wouldn't have like an Avenger SS or something like that.
No.
I
will again. I'm kind of helping you out here. Everything is stable.
Everything is stable.
He does not have an understable disc in his bag.
Okay. So what's like the meat hook disc? Because I don't think a Raptor is like so stable that it would be like his like headwind disc. What about like a machete?
He does have a. I almost said machete. Machete.
Okay.
You threw me off there, but I think
that's like pretty common for a lot of new players.
I actually think those are higher speed discs. No,
I think they're like 11 speeds. Maybe.
Yeah. Very overstable though.
Yeah, very overstable.
Like almost, it's definitely more overstable than the Raptor. It is 11.404.
Okay,
good calls.
So not
there.
really a
Good
fairway,
calls
but-
there.
Okay, machete. I just feel like I see that in a lot of new Discraft guys' bags. Like I remember seeing that in Brody's bag 3-4 years ago.
I think he still bags those, but they're out of production. I'm pretty sure.
Oh dang.
So little back stock of them.
Fairway. So he's got to have. I'm trying to equate like to even Innova. So he had T-Bird 3s. So I mean, I just don't think he's gonna throw an Athena, but he might. Does he have an Athena in there?
No Athena.
No Athena. Okay.
He actually doesn't have any 7-speed at all right now.
No 7 speeds. There's got to be 8 speeds. What about like a Stalker?
No.
Too flippy probably for him. So what am I forgetting? If it's not a Raptor, I mean, surely he doesn't throw like Passions or something like that.
No.
How many? Do I only have 2?
You have 2 out of the 4.
Oh man.
So I will say one of them I believe is behind us right now.
An Onyx? Really?
Yeah, it does
really?
bag an Onyx, yeah. Which doesn't surprise me. I know a lot of pros bag those, but the 10 speed is such a weird speed for me.
Yeah.
Other than the Gorgon, I guess. But,
yeah.
Last one for you. What do you want me to just let you know?
Well, give me the speed.
I believe it is a 9 speed.
Really? Was it like a Mantis?
No, I think Mantises are 7.
Really?
Let me just confirm.
Well, I just saw you type it in, so.
Oh, that's awkward. It's also a 10 speed.
Vulture was the disc.
Yeah.
So that's clearly like he's trying to decide between an Onyx and a Vulture, clearly.
Well, I think what I get from the video is that he is basically throwing the Vulture until he beats up an Onyx to fly like the Vulture, because it's not as stable as an Onyx.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he has that because obviously it's new stuff. So he's just waiting until one beats up, and then I think they'll probably move out. But yeah, onto the mids.
Sense. Okay.
2 mids here.
Only 2 mids. Well, I'm just going to say Buzz.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. What about like, he needs a stable mid. But a lot of people that like stable mids just throw zones, you know? So
that is true.
What about like a Wasp?
No.
Got a little Wasp action?
No.
Wasp? Okay. Trying to think of like odd discs.
This is a pretty sleeper. It's definitely growing.
Okay. It's a sleeper, but it's growing, so it's not the Wasp. What about the Comet? Do they even make the Comet anymore?
I don't think so, but definitely not the Comet.
Okay, not the Comet.
That's also a pretty straight mid.
The Comet?
Yeah. I think it's like 0-1.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it and the Meteor are like pretty similar, but the Meteor's a little more flippy.
Mm-hmm.
What about I know Ezra's throwing the Malta. Malta?
He is throwing the Malta.
The Malta. Okay. What kind of plastic?
I actually don't know. I think it was just ESP is what he had in his bag.
Okay.
That's what it looked like to me. But it was just
the
one.
Malta.
He also
Is that
just had
supposed to
one.
be like his stable?
I think so, yeah. Something that he knew is you could throw flat or any. Like it wasn't just, it might turn a little bit, you know, probably wind dependent. But it's like, it'll get back. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Which is interesting.
Buzz and the Malta.
Yeah. I wish more people threw the Swarm, but maybe that's like more utility disc-ish than actually like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I love the Swarm, but I love the Justice, to be honest with you. But the Swarm is that slot for those people, those Discraft, loyals. Putters.
Okay, putters.
This one.
Well, he's got his putter.
This one might surprise you. We're gonna go throwing putters first, and then we'll finish with a putting putter.
Ricky's always notorious for having just like a ridiculous amount of throwing putters, so he's got to have zones for sure.
Absolutely, and I will say that's the ridiculous amount. So give me a number. How many do you think he has in his bag?
Well, he had like 9 or 10 pigs when he was in with Innova. I don't know how many harps he bagged, so I'll say like 5.
Actually, pretty close, which is crazy that that's still high. 7 zones and all different plastics.
Just because he has one of every plastic, and for what?
I think when you're that good, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, but
But I know the ones I remember is he had ESP, and I think he had.
I mean, that'll beat in fast.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But he had jawbreakers. He had 2 jawbreaker zones, and one was like brand new, and one was slightly beat up. So he basically like will throw the beat up one when he wants a flippy one, throw the new one, and then basically just weed the beat up one out. That one goes to the beat up one, and he'll just bring a new one. So I think he's just gonna like rapid cycle. Yeah, absolutely. So
nice. Okay.
Those are actually that's not.
So yeah, he has
only
his
throwing
putter.
putters.
He's putting with his new putters,
and that's where it gets interesting. He's actually not, and you could tell in the video there was a little bit of like he didn't know if he should say that or not.
Like they're still good. You should still
yeah. You should still have this disc, but I'm actually not putting with it, which is obviously what they made it for. Huh. But no, he's throwing. He's using his as a throwing putter. I guess they came out a little more stable than anticipated.
So they're good throwers.
Yeah, they are good throwers then. So, putting putter for the year. What do we think?
Putter for the year. Well, there's only like 3 options.
Yep.
He was like kind of going crazy on Lunas in the warehouse. Like, I want to try the Luna.
I think those were more of a thrower for him.
That makes sense. Yeah, he was like really wanting to get his hands on those Z Lunas that like AB throws all the
time.
Yeah. I think the most popular putter amongst a lot of the pros is probably the Focus.
That's a great guess, actually. And you would be correct.
Focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and it helps too.
I think Andrew puts the Focus. I think
Andrew throws Focus. He putts with the Challenger SS maybe. Unless he switched, but I'm pretty sure it's the Challenger SS. Maybe. But no, he's putting with the AB. I think they're like CT Swirl Focus. But I guess he got some from AB before the Shelly Sharp, and then he just like popped off. So he's like, all right, I guess this is it. But that is Ricky's in the bag.
Shouts to Ricky's bag.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope next week we're talking about like an Ezra in the bag, because I want to see what he's throwing too, because he throws far, and he's also been playing for Discraft for a few more weeks.
He's got to have that understable stuff too. He throws so many backhand turnovers.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of like the variation in his bag. But
yeah,
we're gonna move on here. This is something we've talked about for a long time. I think it's
since we were children.
I was going to say, I literally was about to say, I think it's every childhood dream at one point is to break a world record. And that is what we plan to do here.
We being Cameron specifically.
Sure. Jacob will ideally be there, but I think it is me that is actually hopefully completing the task. Thank goodness there's no time limit. But we got spring break coming up for Jacob, so he's going to be off work. So like this is hopefully will take one day at the longest, but this could potentially take who knows how long, and it honestly may never get done. But the record that we are trying to break is the longest blindfolded ace. And so pretty ambitious. When I tell you the distance here in a second, you're going to be like, oh, that's nothing. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's actually easy or not. But it was funny to go through, like, this is official. This isn't just like I looked it up and I'm just going to go do it and say that I did it. I went through the proper channels of Guinness World Record.
Applied, I think.
I applied. They accepted. They sent me the guidelines, the evidence I need to have. I have to have at least 2 witnesses. So I don't know what day it is. We'll probably post about it. If you want to be out there and be a witness, I'll take as many as I can get, because why not? It has to be recorded in a certain way. The blindfold has to be like confirmed on the distance of tee to basket has to be confirmed. The basket has to be PDGA approved. The course has to be PDGA approved, which I assume if it's on UDisc it is. So there's a lot that had to go into it, which makes me a touch nervous.
Like, yeah, we need to like make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's.
Right. Like you have to be super diligent in basically the paperwork side. Like low key completing the task was not even going to be as hard as like, and I wish I could show you, but like it is like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling of like paperwork and sending in the evidence and whatever. And this, like, if you are an official witness, you have to then fill out your witness statement. So there's a lot that goes into it, but we've already talked about, obviously we're like hoping I'm able to make it, because we're already talking about if like this gets all okayed and accepted and they send us our plaque, we'll probably just bail on question of the day, at least writing it down. And it's for sure going right here. We're hanging that bad boy up right there because that would be sick. So That's hopefully, I don't know when the video will be posted. I obviously haven't done it yet, but we will be attempting it next week, right? Or 2 weeks from now.
Like this coming week. That's happening.
Yes, this coming week. So,
not sure what day yet.
yeah, that's TBD.
But if you want to come out and watch, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so actually, I forgot to tell the record. I believe it's like 102 feet or something like that is the current record. But I believe I'm doing hole 4. This is also TBD. I'm doing hole 4 at Oak Grove. I believe that's probably the most aceable or the most aced hole probably in Springfield.
Probably.
I mean, I would argue that. It might be like 130 feet max, which on the outside looking in, not super far, you know what I mean? But as far as being blindfolded, and that's not like, and this is like how strict the rules go to, is I don't think, based on what I read, if I'm right, or like if I'm remembering correct, I can be blindfolded and get to the tee. After that, like for the duration, I don't think I'm allowed to take the blindfold off.
So you'll just be in darkness for hours.
Potentially, yes. It's like that way, unless like we take it off and then you have to confirm and do like the fake punches or whatever to like make sure it's actually back on there. But yeah, like it's, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a world record. Which
you're going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records potentially.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll buy that year.
Absolutely.
The 2026 year.
Well, and it's tough because part of it too is like if you get it and accept it, they want memorabilia to like hang up in the Guinness World Record Museum, I guess. I don't know if that's actually what it is or not. But I haven't decided, you know, if I make it with the disc, if I want to do that, you know what I mean? Or do I want it to be here? You know what I mean?
I think we definitely give it to them.
Really?
Because we'll have the plaque. You're going to be, when is the next time you're going to have something that you did in a museum?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fair. But anyways, that's the ambitious video. It's very ambitious. Obviously, it's a world record. But yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, you'll definitely see when that's going down. If you don't, you should go follow us if you want to come out. If you're in the Springfield area or want to make the trip, why the heck not? But yeah, we'll be probably at Oak Grove, I think. I need a rangefinder, so there has to be like multiple ways of confirming the distance, basically. So yeah, I need a rangefinder first too. I need to remember that. But yeah, gonna be Oak Grove, hole 4 at some point, and it's actually not this week, like because this is Monday. It'll be next week, right? Or is your spring break?
My spring break is right now.
Oh, so it will be this week. Oh gosh.
You're mentally prepared.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically, also side note here. Now I'm asking for something. If you have zones, Toros, A2s, any overstable mid, I would love that. That way we can just like throw in mass.
Yeah, and because I think the tendency, like the move, is going to be flex forehand, or just like little flick forehand.
Because obviously I can't see, but I believe you would be able to like.
You need to just be able to make the same replicatable motion.
Yeah, but I believe you'll be able to at least tell me, oh, you missed left, you missed right, whatever, long, short, like that is allowed.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of doing a distance thing and not a time thing, is that I have unlimited attempts. Would it be awesome if it was just first try and we got the heck out of there? Absolutely.
That would actually be insane.
Odds are probably very against it. But yes, that's the ambitious video. Love to do it more. I guess we'll see how this one goes. I have some other world records down, but this one doesn't seem easy. But as far as the ones I've written down, this definitely seems like it might be the easiest. So we'll pretty much see how this goes. And if it's successful and we get the plaque, probably shoot for another one. You know what I mean? Or maybe let you do it. You know, we both get in there. Why not?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's it. I'm actually really excited now that I realize that is this week.
It's happening this week.
This week. Pretty crazy, but I think we're going to move on to the Price is Wrong question of the week and get out of here. So what do you got for me?
All right, Price is Wrong. We've got a disc for you today. We have got a prototype Innova Star AVR X3 pre-released proto. It's orange, 175 grams, never thrown.
Wow.
This is the stamp. This is the back. It actually got like pressed or whatever with the prototype.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
This guy's just selling this one disc.
Proto pre-release
AVR
X3. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, part of me wants to go pretty high, but also at the same time, no offense to the AVR X3, but like Germ was the only guy I knew that threw that disc.
But I think the AVR X3 was pretty hype when it came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because it was like their zone before the kind of the Toro?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I want to say like $50-ish, but like part of me feels like that's too low. Part of me feels like that's way too high. Jeez.
It could be trying to do the old bait and switch trick on you. Make you think it's really expensive and it's like $10.
Yeah. I'm
hilarious.
I'm gonna go $70.
$70?
I think it's too high.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah, I'll lock it in.
Did I read you the description? I did.
Yeah.
This disc is being sold for. To be fair, this disc was listed.
It's on the other side.
This disc was listed 6 hours ago.
Oh.
Very recent.
Okay.
Does that change your feelings?
Well, that means it's probably super high then.
It is. It's listed at $120.
All right. I mean,
I don't know if there's any AVR X3 fans out there, but this guy up near the St. Louis area is selling an AVR X3.
I mean, to the right person, brand new, maybe if you have that kind of disposable income for it.
Just buy his own, man. Just buy his own.
I mean, that's probably true. But
$18.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't far off.
I mean, 70 is not terrible. It's still way more than I'd spend on AVR X3.
Sure. Absolutely. It's probably more than any disc ever that I would spend money on.
Yeah. You bought me a more expensive disc than that.
Well, it was split. Yeah, so but
it was split.
Question of the week. You want to
Question of the week. I will read it. It says, what is the one disc that is never leaving your bag? Another way you can kind of think of this is like, what's one disc that you would be okay playing around with just that one disc, no matter the course?
Yeah.
I know mine.
Go ahead. Cause I need to think because I have a couple.
Oh, really? No brainer for me. It's my green Paul Macbeth Rock 3.
Yeah. No, that definitely.
Because you can kind of putt with it. You know, it's a mid.
Yeah, but also just like the history behind it.
Behind it. We've been through thick and thin. Shout out to Andrew Boyer for finding that for me. I actually lost it at SBU before I got to Ace at Bad Rock.
Oh, I do remember that.
Also, shout out to Andrew Boyer. He found my one of my red Calvin Destroyers from 2021. He found it at SBU.
Wow.
Yeah. I just got it back.
Halo Destroyer?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just got it back.
I think I lost that.
Yeah.
That's the one I lost.
Shout out to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I have it? Or?
No, it's going right back in my bag now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sure. That checks out.
But yeah, definitely my green Macbeth Rock 3.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty solid choice. I didn't know we were going specific.
Oh.
I was thinking.
I just took a disc out of my bag. That is probably never going to
I was thinking mold specific. You know what I mean?
Well, then, yeah, I would still say the Rock 3 for me.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely checks out. But I think it's tough. I feel like the obvious answer for me is the Destroyer.
Lame.
I know. Well, that's why I said it was the obvious answer. So I'm trying to think.
How you going to putt with that thing, dude?
You can putt drivers. But I think... Oh, man. I guess if we're going specific disc...
Yeah, come on.
My pink M2.
Yep, I knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a mid. When you just think of like, what's one disc I would take out to play randomly at a random pitch and putt course, you're going to take a mid. You're going to take your favorite mid-range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I've had that disc for...
Long time.
Well, since 2021.
Yeah, long time. You've been through a lot.
Yeah, like that. I can't believe I haven't lost that disc yet.
To be honest, you should throw it more. I don't think you throw it enough.
Nah, it's almost sentimental now. You know what I mean? Like it's obviously usable, but it's still like sentimental. Like I don't throw it because I don't want to lose it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, definitely we've been through a lot, me and that guy. So let us know what disc I guess you basically can't live without, or one that's, one just absolutely never leaving the bag under no circumstances or under any circumstances. So let us know down below. I believe that's it. You want to close this out here?
I would love to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Not a lot to talk about this week, but we are excited to get to be back with you next week whenever we get to talk about Waco. One of my favorite events, one of the first events that I was exposed to on the Pro Tour. So I love Waco. Love that event each year. Excited to get to talk to you guys about it. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and we are absolutely marching, and it is all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for following along with us. Make sure to subscribe. If you're not, drop a comment down below talking about your favorite disc. If we said something that was silly about the Go Throw Tour, let us know. Happy to get to talk with you guys, and we will see you next week.